Bootstrap is a framework that does a lot of the CSS for us, and it makes our lives easier, and it's actually very popular if you are looking for a job in web development. So I wanted to make sure to cover it, and we'll do it today and this week, and we'll try to do it again. I'll bring it up again at some point after we do a little more JavaScript. So one of the things I wanted to show you, so here's my page. This is like I have a Jumbotron. I'll show you the code, and and then this part uses what I like mentioned in the assignment. It's you have the container, you have a row, you have it's divided with three, just like I showed you in the last video, three equal columns. And I put the image. I just randomly took some images from a kid's book, so you could do pictures that make sense for you. I just put a bunch of images. Now, if you look at the code, let me show you this code. So if you look at it here, I'll scroll up. Okay, so you have this the Jumbotron, and it makes the words all big. And yeah, it has that. You can see it has, well, the heading is big, but you can see it has this nice gray background. And what you can also see is just like what I told you, that I put the images together. Now, the one thing I want you to see is the classes, because the classes is what we've been writing CSS and writing classes, and then we would go to the CSS and write all the stuff to make it look nice. Bootstrap does a lot of that for us. So if you do, let's say, class row, well, then no matter what, even if they're not equal, and we're not finished up with the columns yet, it will start a new row no matter what. If you put thumbnail, it'll make the image look a little nicer, and you'll see it puts that little border around it. It makes it look more like an image thumbnail. So it does a lot of the stuff for you. You can add all these different classes, and they exist. And that's one of the things I want you to do, is just play around. W3 School shows you all of these different options that you can do in Bootstrap. And my assignment hopefully guides you a little bit into it, so you get a little bit of exposure. But look around and play some more. So you can see in this page what I did, and I have the big Jumbotron, and then I have here my image gallery. I also did, where is it? A little bit of here, something where this you might see with textbooks, and you click on it and it comes up in big. And again, it's the same thing. It's the same page, the same code. It's not that different. It just puts it as a link. So here instead, it's a link to these. So you still have the image, but instead of being surrounded in a div, it's surrounded in a link. So it's a link to the image. If you click on it, it's a link. Again, it still has a thumbnail because we still want the class thumbnail, and everything else is pretty much the same. Of course, my width and height of the image are different, because here I did 150 pixels. So you can see these are the kind of thing that you might notice if you're on web pages, and a lot of times you might notice this Bootstrap feel to it, and the page just, if you look at the themes, the page just keeps going, and yeah, and I want you to try that, and to get a little exposure to it, and hopefully we'll come back to this a little more later on in the semester.